And Suits. Keep watching VOP, the voice of the people. Don't touch that dial.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
I'm Sarah Nystrom from Sweden, aka Chief Omobawale Communication Queen. Keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, I'm Samantha Jacobs, representing the States. Miami's in the house, and I want to make a shout out to VOP TV. I'm a humanitarian, and I'm also a rep in the film industry and the art industry. I help dreams come true, and I help you keep on that path. Shout out to VOP TV because you're helping people stay on their path too. Cheers.
All right, my name is John Odibo. Keep watching Voice of the People because it's a fantastic station to be with all the time. Thank you very much.
My name is Pastor Elvis Siru, the convener of the Voice Achievers Award, and keep watching VOP. Yes, that is the channel for all the people. No color, no race. Thank you so much.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, this is Abasunkan from the Netherlands. I am a designer and I'm here in Eco and Suits. Keep watching VOP, the voice of the people. Don't touch that dial.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news, we analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
Good morning, Amanda. Thanks for joining us this day. Welcome to the Sports Republic show right here on Voice of the People Television, Lagos, Nigeria. I would like to start off the show today by saying 3 words that explains exactly what we saw yesterday. And when I said I was going to do this, someone said, no, this is your opinion, but that's what it is. Just 3 words that says a lot about what we saw exactly at the Champions League game played yesterday between Benfica of Portugal and the Real Madrid of Spain. As a shocking one, disrespectful, number two, and then upsetting. But let's start off the show again. First and foremost, FIFA anti-racism protocols investigation can do more, trust me. And if you look at what we saw yesterday, you would understand that there's no room for racism. It's truly shocking, it's disgraceful, completely upsetting, totally unacceptable, and sincerely, there is no place for this. Like I said, I can still believe that in 2026 that football hasn't got off this handle. That football hasn't got a handle on this. Imagine you being a Vinicius Junior, a genius, and has scored just that goal, an incredible one. This should shine a light and a shame to football, I must say. This should shine a light and then a shame to football, because strong actions must be taken against the perpetrators of this kind of incidents. In the world of football today, in a World Cup year, a strong message has to be sent out. But I must say, in all honesty, the only thing that I've been asking, I've been begging FIFA, that I want to see out of the game is racism out, eradicated. Racism, of course, it's have no place. There's no place for racism on this game. Now, people have said, Gianluca, what's the name, Cristiani at the time has not said a word about that one, will tell you. But if we did see that one, if we see how it goes, as for the Benfica-Argentine game, you would understand. Now, but what happened yesterday will tell you. We will see how it goes as far as Benfica-Argentine international Gianluca Cristiani wasn't proud of what he said. If you are proud of what you said or what you say, you should have just possibly got off that jersey off your mouth. Now, I was having a chit-chat with someone before I came on the TV, and he was saying words to me that players do cover their mouth when they talk. We know all of those things. We know. So those things, players do cover their mouths, but they don't do it all of the time. They only do it when they want to say some certain word that's very insensitive, that's very, very deep. But if you know you're not courageous, you don't have the power, you're not bold enough, you shouldn't have spoken, whatever it is. So you rather went up putting your mouth, your jerseys, raising your jerseys up there, and then you spoke to someone, which the media has termed to be racially abused. And that's the Vinicius Junior. Now, the word says he was called monkey 5 times. We'll look into all of those cases. But I love Mourinho. But his comments on this issue, I must truly say, I am so disappointed, because he is someone we listen to. He's someone we respect a lot. But that's, he said yesterday, if you ask me, I'll tell you, that's hypocrisy in the highest order in world football. And for men like Mourinho, who we expect a lot, he shouldn't be saying something like that. How do you go on telling a player not to celebrate a goal he wants after scoring an incredible goal? How do you go on doing that? That's ridiculous, if you ask me. We all saw referee the Leicester crossing his arms, talking about Francais Leicester, crossing his arms to activate the anti-racism protocol and temporarily stopping the match. In fact, let's even talk about the whole incident that transpired yesterday during the match in that Champions League game between Benfica and Real Madrid at the Estadio de Luz Stadium. Before we bring you the review and preview of other Champions League matches, let's start off with this very one. Real Madrid Champions League knockout, you could say knockout playoff tie at Benfica was halted after 10 minutes, or we say halted for 10 minutes. You know, when we saw that incident, Vinicius Junior initially refused to play on following a comment made by Benfica Argentine international Gianluca Cristiani. Vinicius Junior had just given Real Madrid the lead when he was confronted by Cristiani, who pulled his shirt up his mouth before saying something to the Madrid star. Now look at this picture. You say you did not say anything. Then what did you say is a question. Vinicius Junior ran. He ran to the referee, and then he wasn't cool with what he heard. If you're proud of what you say, then you should say it. And you're telling the media you did not say anything. We are yet to have Cristiano Gianluca say what he said. Is he talking? He's replied. But you're not giving us a convincing reply. What did you say? Now, following Vinicius Junior complying to the referee and responded by crossing his arm, that's what the referee did, in front of his face, that's activating FIFA's anti-racism protocol and temporarily stopping the match. Benfica coach Mourinho was seen trying to console a visibly upset Vinicius Junior, and a member of the Benfica coaching staff was shown a red card during the lengthy stoppage time of that game. After a number of discussions between the players, the coaches, and the referee, play then resumed. Real Madrid held on to win that game 1-0, with Mourinho also sent off a separate incident, but there was a further shot delay late in the stoppage time when fans threw objects at Vinicius Junior as he was attempting to take a corner kick. Okay, so let's get it right. Let's make this, I think the word is let's make it make sense, right? Let's make sure, let's get it the way it needs to go and how well. This is about Benfica, the Champions League, halted for 10 minutes with the bars. So let's talk about what Vinicius Jr. said, because we'll be analyzing this on the show today. We'll be talking about this. We'll bring you his post-match, what picture out there on social media, what he said concerning the very, very bad incident. If you tell me Vinicius Jr. did wrong, then you can tell me what he did. And if you say Cristiano Gianluca also did wrong, then you can see what he did. But after a number of discussion between the players and the coaches, like I rightly said, the game started. But let's talk about Vinny. He said, but they have, let's get Vinny's comment first of all. So we'll have Vinny's comment that you can understand how far he felt bad. Vinicius Jr. has faced this a long time ago. And someone is saying, why Vinny? Why always Vinny? Why Vinicius Jr.? That post of Vinicius Jr. saying, he said the word is they are cowards. That's what he said. But I think Mika Richard also said something like that. So if you look at this scenario, you understand that there is a lot to be done about this. This needs to be eradicated. Vinicius Jr. said, but when they have someone on the side, they don't do this. So the post message or the message reads, Vinicius Jr. went on saying, racists are above all cowards. That's the word he said. They need to pull their shirts over their mouths to demonstrate how weak they are. Now, he said, but they have on their side the protection of others who theoretically have the obligation to punish. Nothing has happened here today that was new in my life and the life of my family. I received a yellow card for celebrating a goal, and I still don't understand why. He's saying, on the other hand, just poorly executed protocols that serve no purposes, and then he said he did not deserve that one. But Cristiano, who also in the news, we still are waiting to say something on this case. What am I trying to say? What did you say? You said you did not make any altercation there. Why did you have to raise your jerseys up? Now, Vinicius' teammate, let's talk about Arnold. He told reports that after the game, he said he can't comment too much about this, that this is probably an ongoing incident, an investigation. And he said, what happened tonight is a disgrace to football. It's overshadowed the performance, especially after such an amazing goal. Vinny has been subjected to this few times throughout his career. There is no place for it in football or society. It's disgusting. That's the message that reads. And also Benfica boss Mourinho also spoke to the report claiming, so we'll bring you what Mourinho said, and then we'll talk about what Vinny as well, what he said, so you can understand for yourself. Mourinho said, he claimed that Vinicius Jr.'s goal was not meant to be celebrated. He said Vinicius Jr. incited the crowd and his players due to the manner of his celebration, but said he wanted to be independent on the pitch. On the incident, as Vinicius Jr. and Cristiano told him different things. Now, let's even get this clear. Cristiano is saying he said nothing, right? If you said nothing, then Mourinho is coming out to say, you told me something, but you're saying something very different from what Vinny said. So it's a big question. So whose report do you believe? We check the editorial, and we'll bring you that Vinicius message on Instagram. Mourinho said, when you score a goal like that, you just celebrate and walk away. When he was arguing about racism, I told him the biggest person, that's Eusebio, if you know him, a big legend of the game, late today, Portuguese international, Mozambique representative as well, if you know, in the history of the club was a black. So this club, the last thing that it is racist. So Mourinho is saying Gianluca Prestiani did not racially abuse you. That's what it means. Because we know Eusebio. Eusebio is legend of the game. We know his game past. But look at this message. Racists are above all cowards. He said they need to put their shirts in their mouth to demonstrate how weak they are. But they have, by design, the protection of others who theoretically have the obligation to punish. Nothing that happened today is new in my life and families. I received a yellow card for celebrating a goal. I still don't understand why. On the other hand, just a poorly executed protocol that served no purpose. I don't like appearing in situations like this, even more so after a great victory and when the headlines have to be about Real Madrid, but it's necessary. That's Vinicius Jr.'s post. So let's have Cristiano as well, Cristiano Gianluca. Now, what did Cristiano Gianluca say? So we can judge this case and know what. He said, I want to clarify that at no time did I direct racist insult to Vinicius Jr., who regrettably misunderstood what he thought he heard. I was never a racist with anyone, and I regret the threat I received from Real Madrid fans. Okay, we're not in the right position to judge this case, right? Let's get it right. Before we talk about Abel, we're not in the right position to talk about this, right? But let's face it, whose report do you believe? Vinicius Jr. rightly came and said, this is what Gianluca Prestiani said to me. And I'm not trying to take side, I'm just trying to say the way it is. Vinicius Jr. walked past him. We saw Ada Gule having a conversation with him. So he already raised his jersey up, covered his mouth, and then Vinny was just standing close, trying to walk away, and he heard that. So what the Brazilian had to do, according to what we saw yesterday, he ran off, went to meet the referee to make his complaints. Now, if you look very closely, you would understand that Kylian Mbappe also was quite close to Vinny. But Vinny came out to say, he called me monkey 5 times. Then Kylian Mbappe is also saying the same thing. Thierry Henry has been upset about this. But let's quickly get to know what Alvaro Abeloa, the Real Madrid coach, had to say about it. He said, you have to ask Benfica player about it. Everyone can see what happened with Cristiano. He put the shell in his mouth. You have to ask him what Vinny said. You have to ask him what he said. Because he's saying what Vinny said is not important. We need to fight against racism in football. We support Vinny. And then I love what happened yesterday for the fact that they stood together. On the object thrown at Vinicius Jr., we did see that at the corner side. And Arnold came out. Trent Alexander-Arnold said something. He said, it's a hostile environment. Maybe they were upset with the way Vinny celebrated. I don't know what set them up like that. I don't know what set them up like that. Like I said, hostile environment, we are used to it as a team. We take the win, go back home and play again. But for Vinicius Jr., like my friend was saying to me, why always Vinny? Vinicius Jr. has spoken out previously about repeated racist abuse he has suffered in the past, saying in 2024 that he felt less and less like playing football because of the abuse. In that same year, we must tell you, 3 Valencia fans were sentenced to 8 months, I think that's about 8 months in prison for racially abusing him in a match that was played in May 2023. Meanwhile, 5 other people were handed suspended prison sentences in 2025 for racially abusing Vinny in an unprecedented ruling in Spain. And the incident occurred during Real Madrid match against Real Valladolid, and that was September 2022. Like I already said, if this is what it is, and it's shocking, it's disgraceful, it's upsetting, that's what it is. You know, there's no way you want to look at this. Now, Thierry Henry can say, he said, I can relate. I think I saw one of his videos talk about Arsenal legend, Barcelona legend as well. He said, I am not a Madrid fan. I don't like Real Madrid, but today I support Madrid. Now, this picture says a lot. This picture says from the referee, it means he was trying to activate the racial abuse. No. Abuse talk, it's not having a place on this game. And that's the sign of that match, you can say. But Henry said, I can relate to what Vinicius Jr. is going through. It has happened to me so many times. I've talked about it after the games. He puts a shell in his mouth so clearly he looks suspicious. Now, there's no way, I'm trying to balance the talk because I don't like to use the word black and white. Like Michael Jackson rightly said, it doesn't matter if you're black or white. So we don't want to see where it happens to be that our skin color, my skin color should not determine whatever it is, right? We know. I'm going to say it the way it is and looking at it from both perspectives. Now, if Gianluca Prestiani, the Argentine international, has come to say, you did not say anything racially to Vinny, and you don't like the threats that you receive from Real Madrid fans, it's okay for you to get things like this if you really said something like that. If the investigation is out, I believe Alexander Sanfin, the UEFA president, have to sanction also the Benfica fans for also throwing that object to Vinny right there. But people ask you, why always Vinny? That's the question. Arnold came out to say, Prestiani racist insult to Vinny has ruined the night. It's a disgrace to the sport. It's a disgrace to society. Well, I'm proud of how everyone reacted and got around Vinny. So I want to state it. It's clear. Vinicius Jr. said he was racially abused. He was called monkey 5 times. Kylian Mbappe, some are saying, what do you expect from the Frenchman? He must definitely support his teammates. No doubt. But let's get it from the part where you have come to say, see, there's no way you have to put up this way you do this. There's no way you have to, you're taking out your jerseys and you're placing on your mouth. It's quite different than when you're talking and you're doing this way. It's quite different. We've not seen players a lot of time talking to their fellow players or maybe trying to say words that they know it's not ideal to say on camera, because the cameras can actually depict what you say when you're talking. So most time they do this. Messi does a lot. Fabregas does a lot. We know a lot of these players. They do this because we know the camera picks what you say. But if you carry your jerseys, it's suspicious. And if you say it's not suspicious, then what did you say? You're only having yourself saying, I did not say it. I did not say it. I did not racially abuse Vinny. Then what did you say? Let's get it right. Okay, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to support Vinny. Okay, no, I don't want to listen to what Vinny has said. Vinny just be on the sideline. Okay, tell me, what did you say? Tell the media what you said. If you feel you're proud, you're courageous, you know what you said, and you know it's not bad. Because Henry said, what you said is suspicious. Kylian Mbappe confirmed, saying you called him monkey. But if you want to look at it from two aspects, you will say, yes, Mbappe will support Vinicius Jr. We want to say that, right? Let's keep off that talk at the side. Let's keep it at the sideline and talk about Gianluca Prestiani. What did you say then? If it wasn't so bad, then you wouldn't be doing it that deep. So on Mourinho's perspective, why do people feel Mourinho did wrong? I also felt disappointed for a manager who the world respects, who knows will listen to him when he talks. Why would Mourinho come out to say, you don't celebrate a goal like that? You're inciting the fans. You can't have yourself score an incredible goal like that, like Vinny rightly did, and you not celebrate. You can't afford to do so. You must celebrate. It's a goal that came at a vital time. It's a crucial goal away from home, a start with a lose. And you're scoring the goal, and you tell me, no, come on, he's a Brazilian, Jogo Bonito, Samba boys, they will dance. That's what they're known for. He will celebrate. See, I'm not a fan of what Vinny does most of the time. He talks a lot. Most of the yellow cards he received in his career are via him talking. He talks a lot. He likes this, he welcomes this bull talk. But aside the bull talk, aside them calling you a monkey or whatever racially abusive words you've had in the past, what was wrong with dancing? Okay, now Mourinho said, you shouldn't be the one to take the corner. Why would I not be the one to take a corner? That's quite disappointing. You can't tell me not to take a corner. Trent was standing there, Vinny was standing there. You cannot tell me not to take a corner because I'm trying to avoid the fans on a game that was played right that the world can see. So I don't know how you want to paint it, right? But if you talk about it from the right perspective, you would find out that Gianluca Prestiani has a lot here said. Vinny was just close, and he heard it, and he ran to the referee. And he got yellow carded. So what's the reason for the yellow card? So let's make it make sense. Because tomorrow someone is going to be like, Kizike, you're like Vinny thing, you're talking about, it's not about my skin color. It's not about this. We've seen, I don't like to use the word white, not white. We've seen Europeans come out to say. Now, Mourinho has two things he has said. Mourinho is calling the name of Eusebio the greatest. He could say, no, Ronaldo is the first. Second greatest player, that's my opinion. Some people will say no to that. Second greatest Portuguese ever produced player, Eusebio. And he said Eusebio was a black. Mourinho was trying to be hypocrisy in that very one because he was covering up Benfica, which I don't think it was necessary. And a lot of people felt like Mourinho could have gotten off Prestiani just to avoid all of this incident. But people are also saying Mourinho is a racist. And people ask the question, if you say Mourinho is a racist, how come he was able to do with the likes of ACN, Solomon Kalou, Mikel Obi, Didier Drogba? Someone said he was using them. So it's a lot of conversation out there. Mourinho came out to talk about Michael Essien. He said, Africans love me. Essien he's my boy, even though he calls me daddy. And his age and mine is quite close. Mourinho told Eto'o, you're an old man. And Eto'o scored and did that celebration in Chelsea. You know, if you remember all of this scenario. So we're looking at it from different perspectives. And someone said to me, I want to quote him, he said, this is not, it's just a personal preference. It's an individual thing. Because I think he sounded like we don't have managers who are racist. But someone said Guardiola doesn't like blacks. They like to say blacks. Well, but Guardiola doesn't like blacks. Well, he had a very bad time with, or he actually had a bad time with him. Also, a European man, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, said he's the least coach, the worst coach that will come before every other coach. So I really would say, Man City, Pep Guardiola, he doesn't like blacks. He's working with Jeremy Doku. It's a City ground that he had. He's working with Semenyo. Come on, let's also get all of those facts right. So, but if you ask me, I'll say just two things, or three things rather. Vinny has always been pulled all the time. If it's about racism, that's what I want FIFA to eradicate from the game, number one. Secondly, Gianluca Prestiani, if you said no word to Vinny, then what did you say? Number three, Mourinho, what he did yesterday wasn't necessary enough. He shouldn't have told Vinicius Junior that you are inciting the fans by dancing. I have the right to celebrate my goal the way I want to, depending on how the goal came. Well, let's talk about other Champions League games before we talk about Nigeria. People ask a question, what's the way forward? The Super Eagles, will they be the World Cup? We will analyze it on the show today. But let's talk about other games that was played yesterday. Galatasaray, Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, they got all they want in the knockout tie on Tuesday. But we start with the Victor Osimhen side. I felt so bad. You know why? I felt bad because Victor Osimhen's club side won a game at home, even though they did not start so well. It was about the old ladies, the Bianconeris, on top of the game. But later on, what we did see was a different version of it, where Galatasaray came out and stole the show. Quality goals scored by all of these players. Osimhen was on fire as well, but he got an assist, but he didn't find himself among the score sheet. I know how bad it feels for a striker who loves to play the game, who loves to score, whose passion is to find the ball at the back of the net, not scoring a goal in such a game. But we go on and let's get on these. Let's get on these quickly. Now, Galatasaray were the biggest winners of the opening night of the UEFA Champions League knockout phase playoff. But Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, like Riley said, Borussia Dortmund also took charge of their respective towns with first leg victories. And then let's have a roundup of actions that was played on Tuesday. Galatasaray came from a 2-1 down at halftime to score 4 in the second period, and went on to win a post-stadium encounter against 10-man Juventus. Gabriel Sara also called the efforts, called the host into the lead after 15 minutes, but our team Copenenas, the man, former Atalanta player, doubled, turned things around. The Juve midfielder also stopped playing in the rebound before refilling in the first half. Shortly after the break, Noel Lang collided for the close range, and then an hour later, Davison Sanchez headed in. Then Juve, Joan Cabral was sent off for 2 yellow cards. Lang also looked at in the second, goal on that one, and then Sasha Boy, who drilled in 5th, and that one was assisted by Victor Osimhen. So Sarah went home with that very one Man of the Match award. And also, we talked about Real Madrid, where the goal from Vinicius Junior separated both sides. But on the show today, we'll tell you what's really going on about Nigeria. Don't worry, we're just talking about the Champions League because we want to give you all of the news just as it unfolds. We'll get to that phase. What's the fate for Nigeria World Cup hopes? Who made a verdict? We'll tell you. Now, also, for other game that was played yesterday, substitute Desiree Doué, who came in for that man, Ousmane Dembele, recovered from falling, 2-0 behind after 18 minutes to win the game. Folarin Balogun headed the first opener, from Alexander Golovin cross, and also double the host advantage with a composed run and nice finish. That was a nice finesse one to say. Monaco goalkeeper Philippe Cohn also then saved the team's penalty before Doué Desiree on an early replacement for Ousmane Dembele fired in a 29th minutes play. Ashraf Hakimi also drilled in a equalizer 4 minutes before the halftime, and that was the one that was pumped up by the goalkeeper because we did see that Desiree Doué taking that one, a very nice shot. He went on with the man of the match, player of the match award for himself. And also we did see Borussia Dortmund, Dortmund as well claimed their 100th European Cup win to take control for the tie against Atalanta. The hosts got off to a brilliant start. Julian Riasin also following up with 4 weekend assists, and then with another one being crossed to Sekou Girassi, and then the Guinea international scored. Although Atalanta proved well through Nicolas Lewinsky in particular, there was no time with that one to make sure they got it all right in that very game. But yes, man of the match was Sekou Girassi. He got on that one. So it continues today. Karabakh will play against Newcastle. That will be early kickoff Nigerian time, 6:45. I will see Club Brugge. Club Brugge will play as well against Atletico Madrid. And the Bodo claims as well will do with Inter, and then Olympiacos will also be doing it with Leverkusen. It's got me worried. What kind of a game are we expecting? We are asking questions, and then we have to see how it goes. But guess what? Nigeria, Lagos Nigeria, that's the best word. Let's talk about the World Cup. We go on a quick break. When we return, we'll start off the show. Straight to the Super Eagles news. FIFA Disciplinary Committee. Super Eagles set to play 26 World Cup playoff. Who? New Caledonia, and are we going to see Jamaica? Who? Time tells. Just stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Yeah. Welcome back from that quick break. Let's talk about Nigeria. What's the way forward now? Super Eagles news, and people ask you a question, want to know how we can go on from here. Now, some reports and sources have it that the World Cup ticket, which Nigeria Super Eagles failed to secure on the field of play, have been delivered in FIFA's boardroom in Zurich. That's Switzerland. Moving on, this followed a decisive verdict in eligibility dispute between Nigeria and Democratic Republic of Congo, as the World Football Governing Body overturned the playoff result and awarded qualification to the Super Eagles for the 2026 World Cup. The ruling was handed down by the FIFA Disciplinary Committee following a formal protest lodged by the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) against the Congolese Association Football Federation, that's the FECOFA. Now, moving on, at the heart of this matter, was the best losers playoff match in African qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup. DR Congo had originally secured a 2-1 victory over Nigeria, seemingly clinching the final qualification spot. However, Nigeria challenged the outcome, alleging that a DR Congo player, identified in proceeding as player X, was ineligible to feature in the decisive encounter due to an incomplete nationality switch process. After reviewing official match documentation, player registration record as well, and correspondence between FECOFA and then FIFA's player status department, the disciplinary committee established that the player had previously represented another national association at youth level. Now let's talk about this. Under FIFA regulations governing players' eligibility, any footballer seeking, let's say it right, not under our right now, under FIFA ruling, under FIFA regulation and governing players' eligibility, any footballer seeking to change a national association must formally apply for the switch, receive written approval from FIFA, and obtain official confirmation before participating in any Section A international match. That's A-class matches. But the committee found that although player X had initiated the process, formal approval had not been granted before the player fixture. So let me say it right. It means that they know, the Congolese, knows they've done wrong. In other words, the player knew he was not eligible to play without such a game beforehand, so he did what he was supposed to do. But the news is that they did not get a permission. It wasn't granted. That's what it is. So formally, properly, they did what they need to do. But FIFA did not grant that permission. Now, crucially, no provision, or you could say no provisional clearance, have been issued to permit temporary participation. Let's talk about FIFA now. Citing Article 9 of the regulations governing the game, the application of the FIFA statutes, and Article 21 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code, the committee ruled that DR Congo fielded an ineligible player in an official competitive match. In line with the regulations, the match has been declared forfeited. That's the reporting saying so. Consequently, Nigeria have been proclaimed winner of the best losers playoff round and awarded qualification to represent Africa at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But the decision marks a major boost for Nigeria football and underscores what FIFA's strict stance on eligibility compliance, particularly in high-stakes fixtures that determines World Cup participation. While DR Congo have been disqualified from the playoff pathway, the Federation retains the right to appeal the ruling before the FIFA Appeals Committee. But in its closing observation, the committee stressed that strict adherence to nationality switch, talking about procedures, is vital to maintaining fairness and integrity in international football, warning that administrative processes still in progress do not justify participation without formal approval. So you understand what I'm saying? While on other reputable sources, it's quite scary to talk about. Now, why some reputable sources as well have it that FIFA is expected to review Nigeria's petition this week. So we already told you one report from one source, and the outcome of the FIFA review could reinstate the Super Eagles into the Intercontinental Playoff in Mexico later this month. One of the final World Cup qualification spots will be decided there, keeping Nigeria hopes alive pending the governing body's verdict. Do you understand this? Now, this is more like, what's the word? Some sources are saying it's done in Zurich. That's headquarters, we know. Some are saying no, we are still yet to get the report. But this is me asking this big question. Whose report do you believe? Why is this taking time? On the show today, we tell you how it could be concrete. We tell you Who made the February 16th verdict? Who made that rule? How did that news come to power? We'll talk about it. And I'll tell you why I feel very scared about this scenario. But my point is still very clear. Our point is still very clear. Every Nigerians are asking and waiting. If they know this is wrong, then why take time? So that FIFA is taking time, maybe just maybe, means that something could just be at stake at some point. We don't even know. But we expect this to come out in favor of Nigeria because of they've done so wrong. But let's talk about something and why it's scary. Let's talk about the case. Let's talk about the Congolese. Let's not just do Nigeria. Let's talk about what is going on in Congo right now. The Congolese Football Association is allegedly doing everything within their powers to twist FIFA into ruling this case in their favor. Veron Musego Omba, the General Secretary of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, appointed in March 2021, is a Swiss-Congolese national born. And he was born in Democratic of Congo. So he was born in Congo, that's the word. He previously worked as a chief member association officer at the FIFA, before taking the role of CAF, and then General Secretary 4 years ago. He's also close. He's a very close associate of FIFA President Gianni Infantino. But according to very reliable sources, Omba and a few other top football executives from Congo and some Francophone countries are allegedly using their strong influence in FIFA to lobby for a favorable decision in this matter. Do you understand how scary it is now? They know the seriousness of this petition, and they are scared that FIFA could decide in favor of Nigeria based on leaked information and available evidence. FIFA, on their part, is convinced that Nigeria has presented a very strong case and will not want to do anything that will rubbish their reputation, knowing that the Nigerian Football Federation and the Congolese FA might want to proceed to the Court of Arbitration for sports in Lausanne, talk about Switzerland, for this case, if decisions do not go their way. So, for that reason, they've taken time to carefully look at the matter before them and then could take a decision. But we had the meeting that happened in February 16th. What is the outcome? We are still yet to get that big one. In September last year, CAF General Secretary Musengo Omba was accused of having repeatedly obtained bonuses 5 times higher than the maximum allowed. So that's why it's scary. This man you have on your screen have a very big power today. I'd like to say it again. General Secretary Musengo Omba, the man you have on your screen, was accused of having repeatedly obtained bonuses 5 times higher than the maximum allowed in his employment contract with the Confederation of African Football, CAF, but was later cleared of any wrongdoings after thorough investigation. His influence in Africa and world football will come handy for Congo as the nation looks forward to Monday, to the next ruling, that's the word, possibly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, end of the days. We'll see how it goes from there. So it's a very strong one. But any side that gets it right will have to go on taking on a sole ticket for next month Intercontinental Playoff against the winner of Jamaica and New Caledonia. So that's the news. On their part, the Nigerian Football Federation and the National Sports Commission are not losing any sleep on this matter. They are confident that they have done thorough investigation and provided the necessary documents and a very good vital evidence to FIFA. They also believe that the recent FIFA verdict on Malaysia, this is why it's scary, and this is why I feel like they are wasting a lot of time. They believe that the recent FIFA verdict, just recently concluded on Malaysia, is a clear indication that the World Football Governing Body does not joke with anything that has to do with players' eligibility, especially when they have their document and evidence on these discrepancies and then the false falsification. Now, what's my fear? Let me say this, my fear. Musengo Omba and Patrice Motsepe are very good friends. They are very close, and of whom are also very close to Gianni Infantino, who happens to be the Swiss-Italian FIFA president. Also, if FIFA twists the law to favor DR Congo, it will set a new precedent for other nations to follow in the near future. That will not be right. If they did wrong, they should be disqualified. It doesn't matter if Nigeria or not, or another country takes the space. That's my opinion. If they've done wrong, they should be disqualified. And also, let me let you know, I'm also not sure FIFA would want to risk a global backlash. If they don't make the right one, they don't make the right law and an unlawful decision on this matter, then it could go at the detriment of the body that governs the game. Now, let's quickly wrap up by telling you this. Now, the last one we should tell you about on the show today, we already told you, the Super Eagles news is the big one. Let's talk about this. FIFA and Congo. Where did February 16th verdict come from? We said the verdict, today is even away, 18th already. So they said February 16th, taking it back. We said this is the big one. As Monday, February 16th came and went as a large section. So it's more like it has come and gone. So a large section of the Nigerian football community was left asking where exactly did the belief came from. The belief that there will be a final verdict by FIFA. Where did it come from? Well, let's say this. 4 days is far. 5 days is far. I feel like we need a response now because for days, reports and social media polls suggested that a ruling was done. A ruling was imminent on Nigeria's appeal against Debcongo over the alleged use of illegible players. The expectation was clear that the decision could somehow reopen a door to the 2026 World Cup race for the Super Eagles. And also, FIFA verdict, some are saying it's a myth. What's the deadline? Nowhere did FIFA publicly state that a ruling will be delivered on that specific day. Do you understand it? So, it's more like a debunk news. Right. It's more like a debunk news. And I will say it again. Nowhere did FIFA publicly state that the ruling will be delivered on that specific day. Yet, the dates spread rapidly, gaining authority simply because it was repeated often enough. Hope, arguments, counter-argument, and ultimately disappointment followed this, which was expected. Right. The Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has talked about this, later clarified that it had not received any formal communication from FIFA regarding the verdict on that day. In other news, Loaming decisions was built more on assumption than an official evidence. So the real question is who introduced February 16th into the conversation? Why did it gain so much traction? Well, if you ask me, the Super Eagles against Congo, a case built on desperation. Nigeria appeal stemmed from frustration after the playoff loss to Debcongo, which effectively ended the Super Eagles' World Cup hopes. On the pitch, the protest over players' eligibility was seen by many as a last straw of the dice, and also a chance to escape sporting failure through administrative channel. You understand? So we have failed on our part. We failed. I don't think anybody should be serious on this case and the Nigerian Football Federation. Nobody should be serious because they know what it takes for you to miss out in 2 consecutive World Cup games. That's how bad it is. So that desperation made fans vulnerable to any rumor that sounded like good news. We want to hear good news now. Now, once the idea of a verdict date appeared, it was embraced almost uncritically. Now, NFF, for me, they are like a medicine after death. That's what it is. I call them the medicine after death people. Why? The habit of seeking miracles after damage is one thing the Nigerian football body has refused to back off from. Rather than confronting the reason the team fell short in qualification, attention shifted to paperwork and appeals. A protest cannot fix poor preparation, unstable administration, or the absence of long-term planning. Another World Cup has come, but without, oh goodness me, but without structural reform. Nigeria risks excuses and disappointments. Now, the question is, what should they do? Now, you can understand the reason why they are doing a lot on this case. You can understand. What should they do? What should be the focus for Nigeria Football Federation right now? Instead of chasing verdicts that was never promised. That's the word. It's like a bitter truth. You might not like to hear this. Instead of chasing verdicts that we've not even known the way forward, Nigeria football will be better served by fixing its internal framework. Do your job. Do your job well. Stronger governance, clearer statutes, better football planning matters, and far more for the future. I mean, this could be better off than any hypothetical FIFA ruling. Why can we just, okay, now we are waiting. The truth is there. The truth is uncomfortable, but necessary. There was no February 16th verdict. Maybe there will be verdicts to wait for, but it all looks like a lost case. That's what I feel. That's my opinion. I don't know whose report you believe. I don't know whose report you want to believe on this part, but I'm just looking at it because it's taking long. If it wasn't taking long, then maybe I should be optimistic and be hopeful. But I don't know why the body that governs the game, FIFA, they are wasting time. If FIFA can be wasting time, then anything can come to pass, like a Bible verse, like I say. Yes, but let's wrap up on the show today by telling you what's up on the Nigerian news, where Nigeria Super Eagles will face Jordan. So we are already preparing ahead of time. We're too hopeful. We like to hope. We will not do our work well. We'll come to hope. We too hope. Like our hope, Now, so we take the hope. Nigeria will not better. We too hope. If this is the way hope can be done, we too hope. We are now preparing to face Jordan in an international friendly. And I think that will be in Amman during March 23 or 31 FIFA window. The official will mark the first ever senior meeting between the two nations and forms part of Jordan's preparation for their maiden World Cup appearance. Imagine the Jordan side going to the World Cup and Nigeria is not going. They are nicknamed the chivalrous ones. Jordan has been drawn in a demanding World Cup, champions pairing. Argentina also there, Algeria and Austria. So Nigeria's participation in the match hinged on FIFA's ruling over an ineligibility protest against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, the petition alleges that DR Congo fielded 6 players. But we want to play this friendly match to get ready. But I'd like to say this again. Let's make sure we do things right. We have failed. You might not like to hear it, but that's the bitter truth. That's what it is. When people fail, they're trying to find a balance for themselves. They're trying to point the blames on someone who's closer. They're trying to make sure they are heard. That's why we made this protest. That's why we are having this. That's why we are waiting. We cannot afford to continue like this. We can be better off. We can be better off. That's my point. We can be better off because we have to wait till the verdict is done. Well, let me go to some of the comments we have here. This one says, good morning to you as well. He said, the issue is political and technical. This one said, I think FIFA are looking forward to verdict that has less loopholes. What about the Malaysian one? Okay, his name is Lekon Bankole on the session. He said as well, I think FIFA is scared about outcomes, especially on the heels of how AFCON ended. And he went as well also saying, they are desperately looking for ways to avoid a crisis. It seemed clearly that DR Congo messed up though. Well, yeah, that was the message from the man. I see it. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Everyone who's watching away from home. But we have to wait for the ruling. If it goes our way, we'll celebrate. If it doesn't go our way, my point is still clear and it's very clear. Why is this taking time? If I can get the response. It's more like Gianluca Prestiani coming out to say, I did not say anything to Vinny. What did you say? Your mouth, you just covered your mouth and you said you did not say anything. What did you say? So what we say right here on the show might not give you that bigger presence. Other than the body that governs the game, FIFA, that's FIFA. Till they say a word about this, we will now know our stance. But if you ask me, let's go and make our homework. Let's go the integral way. Let's make sure our internal structure is well done. But up until then, we are still not going to be making it to the World Cup, just maybe. But if it comes right, we'll tell you. Thank you so much. We have to end it here. Thank you so much for being part of the show today. We have the media news coming up next. And for everyone who was part of the show today, thank you so much. You had a very good worthwhile moment with me. Tomorrow happens to be a very different fashion. And then by evening again, we'll also have our team as well do it all right with you. But then tomorrow, Ikechukwu will be here to take you through the verdict. If it's out, we'll tell you. And on Friday, I'll be here on the show again, Nigeria time, 11 a.m. to tell them all. We'll go away from English. We'll do Pidgin, vernacular, the one I love so well, and that will be Friday. But up until then, see you. Have yourself a beautiful morning. When the time is afternoon, I could say good afternoon. I'm signing out. Stay safe.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
When you say, make Nigeria no happen to you, me self go say, make you no happen to Nigeria.
You dey bypass your light meter. You dey jump queue.
Yet, you dey wait make Nigeria change for you. My brother, my sister, you self change.
Oh yeah, see that Naija pikin wey pack the thing wey block gutter wey dey cause flood.
Abba, Naija pikin, make we dey care for our environment.
Gen Zs no wan work. Na quick cash dem dey find.
Just like that, boys don't turn Pablo. And girls?
Hablets.
Wetin dey happen?
We dey argue online, spread fake news with our full chest, divide ourselves on top religion, tribe, and politics matter.
But we go dey shout, no unity for Naija.
My brother, my sister, unity begins with you.
Someone japa. Nobody wants stay.
But who go fix Naija if no be you?
Omo, you go